Miss Shannon Clemens, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Daniel Brady, a senior from OJR. Miss Katie Nastis, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Peter Prague, a freshman from Yale University. Miss Emily Lockwood, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Matthew Jensen, a senior from OJR. Miss Alyssa Cobb, a senior from OJR, is escorted by David Clay, a sophomore from OJR. Miss Kelsey Smith, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Zach Loomis, a senior from OJR. Miss Tina Miller, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Ryan Griffin, a junior from Littlestown. Miss Sarah Yonke, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Stephen Phillips, a junior from OJR. Miss Brooke Hunter, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Chris Langle, a junior from OJR. Miss Madison Stone, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Dan Gargas, a junior from OJR. Miss Molly Minahan, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Ryan Kent, a junior from OJR. Miss Jessica Harsh, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Sean Kent, a junior from OJR. Miss Nicole Beretta, a sophomore from Downingtown East, is escorted by Kyle Baker, a junior from OJR. Miss Danae Essick, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Ethan Bly, a junior from OJR. Miss Rachel Hines, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Sam Funk, a freshman at Slippery Rock. Miss Nicole Monk, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Jared Pinelli, a junior from OJR. Miss Emily Morgan, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Nicholas Tordone, a junior from OJR. Miss Casey Smith, a junior from Episcopal, is escorted by Will Snelling, a junior from OJR. Miss Phoebe Burtz, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Taylor Dempsey, a junior from OJR. Miss Kristen Hinckley, a junior from Episcopal Academy, is escorted by Aston White, a junior from OJR. Miss Skylar Atkin, a junior from Episcopal Academy, is escorted by Noah Greenblatt, a junior from OJR. Miss Bailey Stover, a junior from Phoenixville, is escorted by Mr. Evan Ambrogi, a junior from OJR. Miss Leah Baker, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Skylar Spoke, a junior from OJR. Miss Steph Moorhead, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Jordan Ambrogi, a freshman from Penn State. Miss Kristen Keysau, senior from OJR, is escorted by Derek Vonderkroon, a junior from OJR. Miss Bianca Schultz, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Troy Salerno, a junior from OJR. Miss Kelly Cardos, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Richard Gibson, a senior from Pottstown. Miss Alex Elliott, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Josh Brown, a freshman from OJR. Miss Taylor Helmers, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Wyatt Scott, a sophomore from OJR. Miss Marissa Challenger, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Colin Ranieri, a 2011 graduate from Boyertown. Miss Sam Levan, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Kyle Maurer, a sophomore from OJR. Miss Megan D'Antonio, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Saquon Lee, a senior from OJR. Miss Brittany Rennie, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Austin Stewart, a senior from OJR. Miss Catherine Russick, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Adam Roncase, a junior from OJR. Miss Crystal Livergood, a graduate of OJR, is escorted by Luke Moser, a junior from OJR. Miss Taylor Mace, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Tommy Reinhardt, a senior from OJR. Miss Adeline Mayo, a junior from Downingtown West, is escorted by Dylan Wozniak, a senior from OJR. Barney, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Trevor Mason, a junior from OJR. Miss Allie Simonetti, a junior from OJR, is escorted by River Albright, a junior from OJR. Miss Mary Grace Keller, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Matt Barada, a senior from OJR. Miss Nicole Brand, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Steve Begansky, a junior from Cat Pickering. Miss Courtney DeNicola, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Harry Ashburn, a junior from OJR. Miss Casey McHugh, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Trevor Weiss, a junior from OJR. Miss Emily Davis, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Peter Gentile, a junior from OJR. Miss Michaela Mast, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Evan Watkins, a junior from OJR. Miss Taylor Schronk, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Matt Boyer, a senior from OJR. Miss Catherine McElwee, a senior from Wyomissing, is escorted by Garrett Kaiser, a senior from OJR. Miss Brittany Wilkerson, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Tadrell Jones, a junior from Pottstown High School. Miss Haley Strickler, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Eddie Meyer, a sophomore from OJR. Miss Meg Sutter, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Alan Taylor, a sophomore from OJR. Miss Savannah Gallant, a senior from OJR. Miss Hannah Struble, a senior from Steinart, is escorted by Colin Mancini, a senior from OJR. Miss Jordan Shoemaker, a junior from OJR. Miss Morgan Clare, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Dylan Frierson, a senior from OJR. Miss Ashley Kelly, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Michael Shine, a member of the class of 2011. Miss Shay Skelton, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Julian Finley, a graduate of Daniel Boone. Ms. Marian Elko, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Brandon Lovell, a graduate of Souderton. Ms. Jordan Shoemaker, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Jared Szynski, a freshman from Albright. Miss Leah Hughes, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Wes Isley, a junior from OJR. Miss Aubrey Sierick, a sophomore from Bishop Shanahan, is escorted by Tyler Smith, a junior from OJR. McOdrum? Miss Natalie Dirks, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Colin McOdrum, a junior from OJR. Miss Jordan Kaplan, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Elliot Bennett, a sophomore from OJR. Miss Jen Horner, a junior from Central Bucks South, is escorted by Ben Cathcart, a senior from OJR. Miss Calissa Levingood, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Ali Volpicelli, a senior from OJR. Miss Haley Valino, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Jason Burke, a senior from OJR. Miss Rachel Kachu, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Alex Byrne, a junior from Pottstown High School. Miss Abby Ah, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Colin Gray, a senior from OJR. Amanda Furch, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Alex Evans, a senior from the Hill School. Miss Sarah Becker, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Cameron Mayer, a senior from OJR. Miss Maisie Moyer, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Sir Matthew Charles Kiesling, a senior from OJR. Miss Alexandra Montez, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Theodore Keffer, a senior from OJR. Miss Haley Allen, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Connor Mayo, a senior from OJR. Miss Jenna Palvino, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Kevin Withrow, a senior from OJR. Miss Sarah Miller, a freshman from OJR, is escorted by Kyle Pepmeyer, a senior from OJR. Miss Sarah Dracup, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Kyle Schronk, a junior from OJR. Miss Katie Galante, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Jay Thomas, a junior from OJR. Miss Kate Waskew, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Tyler Vogel, a junior from OJR. Miss Sarah Burr Planhaber, a junior from OJR, is escorted by John Patterson, a junior from OJR. Miss Emma Ruggiero, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Jarvis Stack, a senior from OJR. Miss Chloe Miller, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Kyle Kennedy, a senior from OJR. Miss Erin Cahy, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Jack Murphy, a junior from OJR. Miss Kaylin Parks, a sophomore from Upper Perk, is escorted by James Gardner, a senior from OJR. Miss Rebecca Sorrell is a senior from OJR, is escorted by Scott Woodward, a senior from OJR. Miss Elena Manastra, a senior from OJR, is escorted by AJ Constable, a junior from OJR. Miss Brianne Zabicki, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Corey Polzine. Miss Megan McDevitt, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Jeffrey Allum, a senior from OJR. Miss Katie Zimmerman, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Adam Articani, a senior from OJR. Miss Valerie Lindsay, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Kurt Damer, a senior from OJR. Miss Jessica Barenschmidt, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Brett Levingood, a senior from OJR. Miss Gabrielle Delgado, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Alec Edgecliffe Johnson, a senior from OJR. Miss Savannah Whitcomb, a junior from PJP, is escorted by Greg Johosky, a junior from OJR. Miss Kayla Oliver, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Skylar McCormick, a senior from OJR. Miss Nicole Dolga, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Jesse Gilligan, a junior from OJR. Miss Aubrey Stuber, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Peter Frattantoni, a junior from OJR. Miss Michaela Rosado, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Matt Lade, a sophomore from OJR. Miss Tara Scheimer, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Nathan Urich, a graduate of 2011. Miss Alyssa Missosa, a senior at Bishop Shanahan, is escorted by Tyler Brackbill, a senior from OJR. Miss Cassidy Hart, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Ryan Conway, a senior from OJR. Miss Allison Angelucci, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Joseph Misosha, a junior from Bishop Shanahan. Miss Natalie Kuchard, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Zach Jenyon, a junior from OJR. Miss Bree Whitelock, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Chris White, a junior from Downingtown East. Miss Cassidy Jameson, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Jacoby Kellogg, a senior from OJR. Miss Teresa Walsh, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Kyle Sollenberger, a senior from OJR. Miss Anna Fedoris, a junior from OJR, is escorted by CJ Winand, a junior from OJR. Miss Sarah Dowd, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Dan Shade, a junior from OJR. Miss Marissa Fogel, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Mark Constable, a junior from OJR. Miss Sarah Intosha, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Bo Dallas, a senior from OJR. Miss Elizabeth Suey, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Daniel Bendick, a junior from OJR. Miss Hope Watson, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Aaron Gray, a sophomore from OJR. Miss Rachel Heisey, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Brian Yetz, a senior from OJR. Miss Madison Weigel, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Jimmy Honecker, a junior from OJR. Miss Clara Mintz, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Kevin Shutt, a freshman from Kutztown University. Miss Michaela Shaw, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Zach Matarazzo, a junior from OJR. Miss Maddie Murphy, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Jax Mannix, a freshman from OJR. Miss Rachel Malampy, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Matthias Stanek, a senior from OJR. Miss Emily Rowland, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Dane Duncan, a senior from OJR. Miss Casey Rao, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Nick Napolitan, a sophomore from OJR. Miss Madeline Carr, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Tyler Frederick, a graduate of 2010. Miss Emily Vey, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Dan Wagner, a junior from OJR. Miss Kate Uhas, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Dan Knight, a senior from OJR. Megan Galloway, a junior from Pope John Paul, is escorted by Nicholas Maffa, a junior from OJR. Miss Heather Gray, a junior from Pope John Paul, is escorted by Tyler Rogers, a junior from OJR. Miss Katrina Garth, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Ben Marvin, a freshman from California University. Miss Amanda Fica, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Donald Morris, a freshman. Miss Lauren Schweppi, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Paul Perot, a junior from OJR. Miss Lauren Fitzsimmons, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Anthony Tamillo, a senior from OJR. Miss Sarah Flynn, a sophomore from Bishop Shanahan, is escorted by Kevin Heater, a senior from OJR. Miss Madison Kurtz, a sophomore from OJR, is escorted by Mitchell Mossman, a senior from OJR. Miss Kara Newman, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Austin Breeden, a senior from OJR. Miss Victoria Marwick, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Paul Menninger, a senior from OJR. Miss Emily Lakin, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Alex Gibson, a senior from OJR. Miss Nicole Botero, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Sunshine Carnes, a junior from OJR. Miss Milena Broussard, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Justin Sellers, a graduate of 2010. Miss Laura Myers, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Carl Mason, a 2009 Pottsgrove graduate. Miss Amanda Rose, a senior from Conestoga, is escorted by Samuel James, a senior from OJR. Miss Rachel Alba, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Billy Lederer, a junior from OJR. Miss Cassie Hess, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Chris Malasics, a graduate of OJR. Miss Kaylin Painter, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Brock DeCampley, a junior from OJR. Miss Bailey Haber, a junior from OJR. Miss Katie Starliffer, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Zach Puderbach, a junior from OJR. Miss Megan Beeler, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Dan Blomaker, a junior from OJR. Miss Nicole Every, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Drew Harris, a junior from OJR. Miss Megan O'Connor, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Quinn McGonigal, a senior from the Renaissance Academy. Miss Jordan Ciccarelli, a sophomore from Pottstown High School, is escorted by Tim Cormican, a junior from OJR. Miss Cassie Ekman, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Jared Silva. Miss Catherine Hood, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Tyler Ott, a junior from OJR. Miss Claire Dawkins, a freshman from OJR, is escorted by Austin Kleinfelter, a junior from OJR. Miss Emma Shellhammer, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Austin Alum, a junior from OJR. Miss Corinne Twig, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Tyler Marshall, a junior from Downingtown West. Miss Devin Sunny, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Jacob Kelly, a senior from OJR. Miss Madison Bedell, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Clay Hacken, a senior from OJR. Miss Megan Antrim, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Alex Whistler, a senior from OJR. Miss Heather Kelly, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Dylan Schrum, a senior from OJR. Miss Lee Matthey, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Mike Rauscher, a senior from OJR. Miss Haley Smoyer, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Ramon Oquendo, a graduate of OJR. Miss Lauren Young, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Colby Frank, a sophomore from OJR. Mr. Gina Sampson, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Nick Janik, a junior from OJR. Miss Alexis Siegel, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Stephen Riviera, a freshman from Westchester University. Miss Lanisha Taylor, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Joe Hill, a junior from Springford. Miss Caitlin Peterson, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Mike Lench, a senior from OJR. Miss Mary Sue Moyer, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Joe Pagliano, a senior from OJR. Miss Victoria Smorthwaite, a senior from OJR, is escorted by Sarah Walsh, a senior from OJR. Miss Amanda Walsh, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Sarah Walsh, a senior from OJR. Miss Ricky Bardo, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Mr. Joey Swigert, a senior from OJR. Miss Sarah Himes, a junior from OJR, is escorted by Gordon Bowling, a junior from OJR.